it really helps at the beginning of a show of Kingdom's Evolution if you hit start before you start the show, so that your show actually records. Because if you don't hit the start button at the start of your show, guess what happens to your show? It doesn't record. So we're going to end the show. My last show probably had the best 15 minutes. And would you turn off the blinking lights for me?
Yes.
My last show probably had the best 15 minutes of any show I've ever done with a gentleman by the name of Ken Burke, revisiting our dreams. And Chuck Williams and I did a very good job of going into dreams and how to dream and what to dream and when we were dreaming and what our dreams were. But Ken Burke was touched by the Holy Spirit the last 15 minutes of that show, and he spoke in tongue. And so I've got him queued up on my phone, and we'll take a break. And what I'm trying to say is, you don't want to miss the last 15 minutes of this show. You do not want to miss it. You do not want to miss it. So, title of this show is Life Cycle Reset. And what I wanted to get into a little bit about was we've got a water machine coming. LifeWave has a water machine coming. And what the patch does let me back up. So there's a new product out called the X39 patch. It's going to be $1 billion company this year. There are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that are wearing this patch that are growing younger. Some people, or it's saving their lives, like it saved mine. But we go to these meetings for LifeWave, and I promise you, the people look younger from a year ago. They just look younger. I don't know how to describe it to you, but they're just, instead of being a year older, and believe me, from 60 to 80, you start looking a year older every year. And they start looking younger. And it's not stem cell injections, it's not makeup, it's just they look more vibrant. We've got a water machine that our creator is touched by the hand of God. He is David Schmidt, touched by the hand of God. We've got a water machine coming out that is going to take that one patch and put millions of biosignaling photons of light into a glass of water that you drink every day. So this phenomena of one patch for your copper peptides is about to hit. I don't even know what you would call it biologically, but those biosignaling water lights are going to go into your body, and it's going to affect every part of your body, telling it to be healthy and do good things. So David confirmed last night from the review of study 3, that 100% of the people that have so far drank the water have been affected by the water. So I think he said they're at like 150 on the clinical tests that they've had where people were drinking the LifeWave X20 X2O machine. Tell you how slow I am. I call it the X20. It took me a minute to figure out that it was X2O. It's not X20, dumbass. It's X2O, like H2O, only it's X2O. Let's call it X20. I'm like, why'd they call it the X20 machine? Oh, I think that's why God has been so kind to me, is because he understands I'm not that fast. Truly, truth. That is truth statement right there, baby. So, as we go through this process, a year on the patch, one patch on the body, 12 hours a day, a year later, so the water is going to be one glass of water affects every organ of your body immediately. So it may take a while for it to get to the The copper peptides affect a lot of things in your body. Collagen being, it's a huge collagen. Copper peptides, increasing your copper peptides really fires up your collagen system, collagen in skin. So it does have an impact. The X39 does. And I don't know if the biosignaling light that's in the water is going to dramatically impact collagen. So the X39 is most likely still going to be a vital part to this process of getting younger. What I wanted to talk about are the impact, some of the impacts. And this is probably getting too far over the skis, really, and thinking about it. But that's kind of what this show's about, right? Getting too far over the skis and seeing what it looks like down there. So let's pace this forward. Let's say the people drinking the water live to be 120, 130, 140 years. That in reality, kind of like the lobsters, the cause of death is either by predator, accident, warfare. So your biology is in constant reset. Kind of like the fountain of youth. Your biology is in constant reset. David says he's made this water from the model of the lobster. And one of the things about the lobsters is it's not that they don't die. But what happens is they grow stronger as they grow older. So they do die, but not necessarily from natural causes or biological causes. So let's say, for the sake of the show, that people that are drinking this water are on this pathway, 120, 130. So everything, if you think about it, is based on us leaving this life, and we will still leave this life. We will still leave this life. But the difference between 70 years old versus 120 years old is dramatic. That's another entire life cycle. You know, not including childhood. That's another entire life cycle. It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. So you think about all the things that are set up in our society for people to die at 70 years old. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. So these ages from 60 to 80, 60 to 90, we've set up to care for people, and people set up for themselves like squirrels. Like you save, you retire, because you know that your stem cells are going to stop. You're going to age rapidly in the last 20 years of your life, last 10 years of your life, and you're going to die. Okay. So we're resetting the entire life cycle of humanity. What are the implications of that? How is this going to work? You know, there's a wealth transfer from one generation to the next generation because it's so hard to make money. So older people acquire wealth, save wealth, and then they pass it on to the next generation. They do the same thing, repeat, rinse, and repeat. So what happens when that one of the things that'll happen is that wealth sharing, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Let me rephrase that. So women biologically are born with the X number of eggs, right? That's the reason why women have a biological clock isn't an accident. It's they have a certain number of eggs that they're born with, and a certain number of childbearing years that they have where they can bear children, and that stops. It's a finite number. It's a finite number. So what happens when we extend everybody's life well beyond our child creation years? So women, let's just say 50 years old. Women can show up to they're 50 years old. That means when their child's 20, they're 70. Now in the old days, that would be, pretty close to time to clock in. But with the water machine, if you're living to 100, 120, 150, 70 seems like an awful young age, doesn't it? And especially if you're 70 years old and you feel like you're 30. So you're not going to have a problem having a child at 50. You're going to want to try to have. So what is that? Does that put off childbirth? I don't know. It's crazy, isn't it? Does it put it off? Does it make you have more children earlier and later? This is good. This is crazy stuff. What is going to be the process of this? And then think about married people. So one of the things David Schmidt always tells us, and he's the founder and inventor of LifeWave, is make sure you're in a loving, happy relationship. What he's trying to tell you is, yeah, because it's going to last another 50 years. It's going to last another 50 years, which for a lot of people, fantastic. I love my wife, myself included. I love my wife. I want it to last another 50 years in this world. And I honestly, I do. And I want to see my grandbabies. I want to know my grandbabies. I want my children to give me some grandbabies. And I want to see their grandbabies. So think about this cycle. So this cycle of you living to 120, 150 is going to put you in, I didn't know my grandfather. I didn't see my one grandfather. I saw my other grandfather for 5 seconds. My children knew their grandmother and their grandfather, but they were both dead before they didn't know my one grandfather, and their other grandfather was dead before they were 13, I think. So what is it going to be like to have this cycle where the grandparents and grandparents are young and vital and in the lives up to 130, 150? It's going to be great for the parents. The number one is going to be great for the parents, because I'm just thinking out loud, because this screams dropping off the kids at the grandparents. It just screams it. I know a bunch of my friends do granddaddy and grandmommy daycare, and this will extend that out. This will extend that out. And I know how beautiful and fun the children are, so I know that there's not going to be an issue with that. So part of this is the extension of that, the nuclear family of grandparents and great-grandparents helping out with family. It's going to be extended time-wise. So maybe one of the things that will happen is there'll be more children. Don't you think? Don't you think if you're a young lady and somebody, your parents have lived, and your parents are going to live another 30, 40 years, or they are living, and they're young, and they're healthy, and they're vibrant, and they're successful, they're going to financially encourage you to have as many children as you can, because there's no greater joy than to be around a child. There's no greater joy than being around a child. Let's be honest. Children are the absolute light of God, and if you can be around a child, it just lights you up. So I think there's going to be, people are going to have more children. I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to start earlier. They're going to have more confidence in the future. They're going to start earlier, and they're going to have more. So that's one of the consequences I think that'll happen from the water machine. And plus, it makes you more vibrant, which means, I'm guessing, if it's making you more vibrant, you're going to want to be more vibrant, and you're going to have more, be more vibrancy. So I think that's going to be an exciting side effect of this miracle water that's coming our way. It's not here yet, and when it does get here, it's going to be difficult to get a machine. People are saying they're going to have a hard time selling $5,000 water machines, but they're not going to be selling $5,000 water machines. What are they going to be selling? They're going to be selling gym memberships. So right now I spend $400 a month at a gym for a gym membership. Okay, so the water machine is going to cost you $250, $300 a month for 2 years. It's going to be less than a gym membership. It's going to be less than my gym membership. And it's going to do me a lot more. It's going to do a lot more for my body every single day than my gym membership is. So if I have to choose between my gym membership or getting a water machine, I'm going to choose the water machine. Because the water machine, my whole family can have a glass of this water every day. It takes 45 minutes to make a glass of water. And the gym membership, sometimes we go, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we get benefit, sometimes it's closed. But that water machine is going to be there every single day, biologically signaling our cells, our inner light, to fire up. There's no more. There's nothing else. Hell, we'd probably sell a car to buy the damn water machine. Because if you have that energy and you have that vibrancy, you'll go out and make enough money doing something, working hard, being healthy to go do it. And for old people, what won't they do to be able to afford a water machine? And the only thing I can think of is the people in nursing homes, like who's not going to want a glass of water? So let's just say, so picture this with me. You're in a nursing home. Fred Hansen and in 2C, Fred Hansen, his grandkids or his children buy him an an X2O water machine. And Fred walks out of his bed the next day and he's acting like a 2-year-old, laughing. And you don't even know who the hell Fred Hansen is, because 2 days ago, before he got the water machine, he could barely knew his name. Now all of a sudden, Fred, his kids got him an HXO water machine. And now all of a sudden, Fred's up wandering around, having fun, joking, going out and wanting to do things. Maybe he's going back out, getting his driver's license again. He's got more energy than all of us put together. What do you think they're going to want their children to buy them? What do you think their children are going to want to buy them? So, now just walk me through with this. So now you're the director of the nursing home. And you see Fred, who you really haven't talked to because Fred really wasn't very talkative. And all of a sudden, Fred's asking you a bunch of questions. And you're like, Fred, why aren't you in bed? Fred, isn't lunch being served? Leave me alone. But Fred's not stopping asking you questions. I got to do this, and his whole world has changed. And you see it. And then all of a sudden, a couple of Fred's next door neighbors, their families, or because they have the financial wherewithal, they've gone out and they've got HXO water machines in their rooms. And now all of a sudden, since it makes a glass of water every 45 minutes, you've noticed that a few of your Fred is sharing his water every day with 8 or 10 other residents of the nursing home. And the other neighbor that bought a machine is sharing it with 8 or 10 neighbors of theirs. So now you got 20 people in this nursing home that are jacked up. That are jacked up. And you're thinking, what is going on? Well, what's going on is they're drinking a water that's got 6 messages, 6 biological messages of light, biomessaging light waves in the water. And when they drink 1 glass of it every day, it goes those messages, that light goes into their body and gets released throughout their body, telling it to be healthy, telling it to do good things, telling it to charge up, fire up. And it is, and it will. Third study was released last night. 100% of the people, I think he said they've done 150 people on these clinical tests. They're on like the 6th clinical test. They've released 3 of them. 100% of the people have responded to the water within seconds. 100% in seconds. So, hey, Justin, what is the name of that movie where they find the eggs in the swimming pool, where if they get in the swimming pool, they feel 20 years younger? So Cocoon. Do you remember that movie? It was a great movie. It was a great movie. Let me tell you, Cocoon is happening, kids. It's happening. It's happening soon. It's happening in August. It's going to happen all this year. This is going to be a miraculous year, and some things are coming your way. You don't even know what's coming your way. The entire evolution of humankind is about to change. God has saw fit through David Schmidt to share the miracle of light, and we are about to all be tremendous beneficiaries of it. And if you don't benefit from it financially, you're going to benefit from it biologically. And that's okay. That's okay. If you don't need to benefit from biologically, that's great. Then you benefit from it biologically. But I also want to tell you something. Like, financially, if you're well off, have you planned for another 30, 40 years of living? Most of us, at some point in time, we take the dollars that we have, and we try to meter them out over our expected lifespan. So people that are 401ks, let's say they got $1 million and they're 80. Well, their life expectancy is 10 years. It's not that they're going to wipe that $1 million out in 10 years, but they're not just going to live off the interest. They'll, 1 year they'll have 900,000 left. The next year they'll have 800,000 left. So when 10 years are up, they still have $300,000 or $400,000 in the bank, but they've been living off that $1 million, planning on not making it to 120. That's going to change. That's going to change. Are people going to need more resources saved up? Are people going to retire? Is anybody going to retire? I mean, think about the implications. Why are you going to retire at 20 years? You still got another 80 years to live. Like, no, you're not going to retire after 20 years. 20 years is going to seem like a drop in the bucket. You may not want to do the same thing in 20 years, but you're not going to retire in 20 years. You're going to go find something else to do. You're going to go find something else to produce, something else to create, something else to write, something else to do, because you got another 60 years to live. We're programmed to die. We're programmed to die. 60, the program starts. Your stem cells stop. Basically, you go down to 5%. Your stem cells, your body's ability to rejuvenate stops. It just stops at 60. It's like biologically programmed. 60, you're going to grow old and die. I think that's it. you whatever fails. We're not replacing it. What is it? What's the when you're going out of when you're here's a go with your car. So you've got your car. So your car is 12 years old, and it doesn't have much longer to go, and you get in a fender bender. Now with that car, if you would have had that car when you bought it 2 years, 2 years, it was the model's only 2 years old. The second you have a fender bender, man, that is at the body shop. It's getting fixed. I mean, that car's looking spanky. You are getting that thing fixed. Now, dial it forward. That car's 13 years old. It's got 250,000 miles on it, and you run into a wall, and you get a fender bender. Yeah, you're not jumping right out to spend $3,000 to get a new fender on that car. You just, it's like, that's your body, man. That's your body. Your body's like, you're not going to be around much longer anyway. What is the point of me sending some stem cells to fix that? Because, we're not really going to be here that much longer. The mentality that the change, the shift, the tsunami, the sociological. I mean, you want to talk about? They talk about these Teutonic shifts. Where technology will come along, and it'll change something, and like from people that used to sell cassette tapes to rent the Blockbuster. Used to rent the video cassette tapes, and then they came along with the internet, and just like, well, nobody needs to go rent cassette tapes anymore. So Blockbuster, you're pretty much done, right? That was a Teutonic shift. This is a Teutonic shift in everything. It's a Teutonic shift in everything. It's going to affect childbirth. It's going to affect parenting. It's going to affect grandparenting. It's going to affect grandparenting. It's going to affect saving, investing. It's going to affect every aspect of your life. It's your expectancy, your life expectancy now is going to be completely different. Because are you going to get old? So let's go back. Let's dial it back. Dial it back. Sorry, let's dial it forward, dial it back. Are you going to get old? I'm already old, so I got old. But let's just say you're drinking this water at 30, and you're firing up your body. You got 50% of your stem cells, and you're firing up your body every day with this water. Are you going to get old? Are people going to stop competing? But what if you do it when you're 20? Think about this. What if you drink this water when you're 20 and you're a professional athlete? Got your stem cells working. You got everything working. And every day you're drinking this water and recharging your system to a place it's never been before. Because this has never happened before. Because this has never been done before. So we don't know what the hell's going to happen, what the heaven's going to happen. We don't know. But think about it. Like, are you going to get old? Well, your age is going to get, your years are going to grow. But is your body? You're basically putting your body in a constant state of younger. So what if you are younger? What are you putting your body in a constant state of? Not getting older. Well, if you're performing at a certain level at younger, when are you going to stop performing at that level? When? The implications of this are mind-boggling. So I would say sports are going to be off the chart, right? Because all these people are going to have more children. There's going to be more competitors. But the competitors that are already there at the top of their game, they ain't going anywhere. They ain't going anywhere. They're getting better. The youngsters are coming up. They're getting better. And so sports, you're going to have to expand them. You're going to have to expand competitive sports. Because you're going to have to make room for the new people. And there's not going to be any room for the new people because the old people didn't get old. They got stronger. They got faster. They got better. So the young people coming up that are young, strong, and fast and competing, well, they're just as good, but there's no place for them to play. Let's make a place for them to play. Let's expand our interest in sports. So expanding games in sports. I think we're absolutely going to have to do that. Absolutely going to have to do that because it's just going to happen where everybody's going to get better. It's going to get more fun to watch because there's so many people that are so much better at it and no one's getting worse at it. And it's even more fun to watch. And your heroes, imagine watching the same guy play soccer. You get a great soccer player. Let's say you get a great soccer that you love watching. Let's say maybe Lionel Messi. And you patch that sucker up, and he starts drinking the water. And all of a sudden, Lionel Messi is playing like he was 20 years old again. Do you ever want Lionel Messi to stop playing soccer? No. No, you don't. The change that is coming our way is monumental. It's monumental. And looking into the future, so these are the people that are drinking the water, being successful. What about the people that don't? What about the people that don't want to drink the water? Okay, so this is kind of getting into we're like the reverse of the Jerry Jones. It's just like it's not the people that drank the Kool-Aid that had the issue. It's people that didn't drink the Kool-Aid, right? So friends and family that that don't drink the water, what's going to happen to them? They're going to live their natural life cycle. I say natural. What used to be their natural life cycle? What about the people that can't afford the water every day? They're going to live their natural life cycle. So there was a movie made where there was a place in the sky that only the wealthy people got to go for health care. And everybody else kind of died and couldn't get into the secret wealthy society for good health care, and they died. There are going to be those people that cannot afford the water machine. Absolutely. There are going to be those people that don't want to live any longer. They're sick, they're depressed, they don't have any children, they're lonely, all their friends have died. And in that nursing home where you've got all this energy and those 20 people, some of them say one of their children dies or something like that. Well, maybe they don't want to be in this world anymore. So they stop drinking them. They stop drinking the water so they can be in the next world. I get it. Life is good, but heaven's coming, and heaven's beautiful. And this is about bringing heaven to earth, but that doesn't mean heaven doesn't exist anymore. That doesn't mean that we don't go to heaven and become light when we die. It just means we get to enjoy more of the light here while we're here before we go to eternity. So I wouldn't not drink the water because you're lonely. I would drink the water to make new friends, to find new energy, to find that will. If you don't think firing up your mental capacity by 20%, charging your cells for more energy is going to make you want to go out and create, then I think you're missing the point. And I'm going to end the show here pretty soon. I'm going to put Ken Burke on. And I got to figure out how to do that. I'm going to take a music break to do it. But everybody out there, I want you to dream again. But we've got to dream bigger. We've got to dream bigger. We've got to dream longer. We've got to dream more. And what I would tell you about LifeWave is a shared marketing company. So they're going to be $1 billion company. That means $600 million is going out to people like me all across the world as part of the pay plan for those of us that are sharing it. $600 million a year. Next year will be more. So become part of us. Join us. And it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to want one of these water machines. You're going to want maybe two, maybe three, maybe for your parents, maybe for where you hang out at the gym, maybe, who knows, maybe for your favorite charity. You're going to want to participate in the water machine, and you're going to want to drink this water. So I've got the bad habit, and I'm trying to break it, the SO habit, and I'm going to break it. I catch myself doing it, and I try to avoid it. So I've tried to avoid the duh. now I switch it over to so. So when I watch my shows, I see myself doing it, and I try to catch it. All right, we are going to play some music. Then I'm going to come back with Ken Burke, and this was the best 20 minutes of my show that I think I've ever had. And of course, it was somebody else that did it, but you want to watch the last 20 minutes of my show. All right, it's going to be terrible video, but you want to watch it. At least listen to it. All right, so here we go. I like this song. Change the plan, change the plan. So great news is my great engineer was able to find my show. So I don't have to replay it. You can just go to kingdomsevolution.com. Ken Burke was on like the last 15 minutes of my last show about dreaming. So just go to kingdomsevolution.com, look up the dreaming. What was in it? The actual title of the show? Care to Dream or Dream Again? Are You Daydreaming? So go to Are You Daydreaming on kingdomsevolution.com. Last 15 minutes of the show. Bam. So why is it important for us? So it's so vital to us? So why does the devil go after our children? Why does the devil go after our children? Because children dream. Because children imagine. Children create. The mind of a child is in so powerful because that's all it's doing. Is it's taking in all this information. It's creating reality. It's creating reality from what it sees and what it hears, and it's creating reality from what is, but it doesn't know reality. So it's got to imagine it. It's got to create it. It's got to think of different realities. It's got to go different places. The mind of a child is creation, is invention, is dreaming. And that's what we have to go back to. We don't have to have the actions of a child. We don't have to have the responsibilities of a child. But if you're going to live another 60 years and you're 70 years old, you better have the imagination of a child. You better dream about what you're going to be doing tomorrow and be excited about it. Because you got another 60 years to do it. Think about that. You better love pickleball, man. So in heaven, they've got all sorts of great games. All sorts of great games. All sorts of places to go. Create your own game. Go have fun. See your friends. All eternity. But in heaven, you don't have to eat. In heaven, you don't have to sleep. In heaven, you don't have to drink. Right? You don't have to pay your bills. You don't have to go to the bathroom. You get another 60 years of doing that here. That's a lot of bills. That's a lot of food. It's time to really plan this out, kids. It's really time to start thinking about the implications of what this water machine is going to do when you expand the life cycle by an entire lifetime. It's going to change the world. And so everybody's like, Joe, you're being too hyperbolic, dude. Just settle down. You might get, you may be a little longer. It's like, guys, I'm telling you, it's not what's going to happen. God has shown the light of heaven on earth. So we all say the prayer, right? Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. God is bringing heaven to earth. Not that we're all going to live forever, but we're going to live a lot longer on this earth. And not that heaven still doesn't exist, not that the stars aren't up there, not that God's going to take the stars in heaven and start bringing them back up, from the graves, and, everybody's going to be young again on this planet. But what God is trying to tell us is that we as beings have reached a point where He is ready to share the light of heaven with us, not just through the Holy Spirit, but biologically. And I don't know why now. Do you know? I don't know why now. But it's a miracle upon miracles. And it's happening. And everybody's going to want one of these water machines. And we're going to become more productive. We're going to become more energetic. We're going to become more creative. We're going to become more intellectual. We're going to become more we going to become more child oriented, and we're going to have more children. Right? So I'm at the tail end of this, but I live to see it. Imagine if you're 20 years old and you get a hold of this time machine that stops you at 20. Like, I'm 64. I've already had bad stuff happen to my body. It ain't coming back, man. My thyroid, not coming back. I may have some other things that are not coming back. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Because we're going to live with a certain amount of energy, a certain amount of joy. And that this light that this water machine is going to put in your body. I have a tremendous instinct. And David hasn't talked about this at all. But I'm telling you, I think it's going to be a spiritual awakening when your body's inner light is fired up. I think this light that when God created us, that we're made in the image of God. And the image of God is light. So when God says we're made in the image of God, he's not saying that God's walking around in a sack full of mostly water, as Star Trek so famously said, sacks of mostly water. That was a great Star Trek. Really made you feel kind of bad. It was like, yeah, I guess I am sacks of mostly water. But the light that God created us with, that's the image. The message is in light. And our bodies are biolight signaling machines that interact. Like they show these cyberborgs that use computers, pretend to be human. They use electricity. We use light. And what we're about to do is take that light and drink it. And it's going to bring us closer to God. It's going to bring us closer to our everlasting creator. And when I say closer, I mean, spiritually, I think it's going to make us love our God even more, because we'll be more like God. And the fall of that, right? The fall of that, the other side of that is there will be people. There will be people that as they get closer to God, as they become more like their God in their abilities, in their intellectual abilities, in their physical abilities, in their abilities to control things in this world, they will let that arrogance, because God's not arrogant. We have a humble God. I did a show, a God that died for you. We have a beautiful, loving God. But I did a show the other day where there was in the Old Testament there was a story where God repented from one of the decisions he made. An omnipotent God that apologized to. I did one of my shows about it. It was in the Old Testament, but he apologized for the calamity that fell upon the Jewish people because they didn't listen to his word. They didn't listen to him. They got destroyed. This is a quick recap of the show. God talked to a prophet. Prophet told the Jews not to go to Egypt, to go side with another army, side with another neighbor. The Jewish princes decided to ignore the prophet and went with Egypt, and all misery befell them. And later, years later, God told the prophet to tell the Jewish people that, he repented, he was sorry that happened. That is a loving God. That is a loving God. He didn't rub it in their faces. I told you if you went to Egypt, you were going to get screwed. Repented. Said, I'm sorry. We have a loving God, and this water is going to bring us closer. But there will be those who, with this added years, this added power, this added intellect, that will abuse it. And we that are of the light and love the light, we must remain humble and thankful and graceful. Even as God showers his blessings upon us, we must become more like Jesus, more forgiving and more loving. We must be better. Because I think that guy got to play the song at the end of every show.